Hey guys, my name's Shay Douglas and I'm here with a very incredible man, the one and only Mr. Jay Jackson. Here he is. He's from Organic Motion. He works and leads amazing organizations. He gives so much to charity. He's really deeply connected with the earth and he's a one-of-a-kind human being. I've chatted with him before and I'm really excited to chat with him again because the work that he is doing and what he's up to now is going to blow your mind. It's absolutely incredible. So Jay, thanks for joining me, mate. Thanks for being here.
Thanks, Shay. Yeah, really glad to be back, man. Yeah.
Now this is serious business, guys. We're talking about what's going on in the environment. Obviously, there's huge scares with fires across the Amazon, across the US, and even here in Australia.
Yeah.
So tell me what's happening in Far North Queensland and what Organic Motion and the Earth Care Collective is and how they're actually contributing to making a difference.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I'd just like to acknowledge the work of all our fireys, the volunteers, the SES, everybody that's coming together, to really, band together and support each other like that. That is ultimately what's going to solve this crisis that we're facing, and that's what we're doing here. So Organic Motion, Earth Care Collective, how does this work? Well, Earth Care Collective is a charity that's just come about now from a long-standing existing organization that's been running on the tablelands for nearly 50 years. And in its current incarnation now, we have taken on board the banner to continue this organization to serve community ultimately. Right? And so Organic Motion, as a business that operates, commercial premise in the landscaping industry, our intentions have always been to be a social enterprise. That is, using our business as a vehicle for social change.
That's good.
So what we do not only provides a livelihood for ourselves, feeds us and feeds our kids, but also a portion of our profits goes straight to charity. Mm-hmm. And that means that what we do during the week pays us to do what we do on the weekend, which is plant more trees and share more of our knowledge with the community.
That's fantastic. And I've had the incredible privilege to be at some of your workshops and see the retreats in action. And I must say it's truly groundbreaking because you just really have this incredible capacity to bring people together and not just share your knowledge and your wisdom, but connect people to each other. And it goes beyond just growing food in the garden. This is like connecting people to themselves even. And it's profound to see the transformation that people go through in these 10 days after, at the very beginning and then going through this whole journey and coming out the other side and just the total change that's really possible in such a short time.
Yeah, that's it. And the 10 days, the 2-week retreat that we offer once every year right here in Kuranda, North Queensland, it's open to everybody. We have people come through that are in their late teens right through to their 50s. And what's so great is it offers everybody that opportunity to look within. There are crises and there are, immense, devastating environmental factors that we're faced with in our day and age. And for those of us that have kids, they are faced with it, And I got to say, I love Greta Thunberg and what she's doing. And, why be in school when to learn to be a scientist when we're not listening to the scientists, what they're saying already, 30 years ago, we saw these changes that are occurring, and here we are today with a government that is still making decisions that don't seem in line with where we need to be in order to continue to live happily, healthily, and harmoniously in connection with nature.
Yeah, it's like I had this super overwhelm around what's going on in the environment. I mean, from the fires within Australia, across the world, the plastic pollution, the air pollution and the quality of air in the cities and the amount of cement and the heat that's radiating off the bitumen. It's like all of these things, and I'm freaking out about, all of these outside influences and external kind of forces not doing anything, but then realizing, fuck, hang on, mind my swearing, what the fuck am I doing? And then realizing, wow, there are definitely areas of my life that can change where I can focus on my own responsibility of reducing the plastic consumption, of supporting people and brands who are actually working towards a greener planet, and simply connecting to nature myself. So I have that fundamental connection to myself as I am nature, and then allowing that to be not just an inspiration, but more importantly an example for others to follow suit. And I've found, it's had profound effects on the local community. I've had the privilege of working closely with you and creating these really intimate gatherings where we pull people from all walks of life together to have these inspiring celebrations of what community can look like when we work together, when we, have a purpose that is outside of ourselves. Because another huge realization that I've had recently, to be honest, is that I want to take more personal self-responsibility for my choices and my actions and what I consume and how I spend my money, but I realize it's not all about me.
Right.
There's bigger forces at play. There are more important things and people and situations to care for. So what would you suggest is the number one thing that people can do right now to actually have a positive impact on the world, in our environment, and for themselves?
Plant more trees.
Okay.
Yeah, plant trees, grow a garden, grow your own food, reduce food miles. Stop having to drive to the supermarket so often when you can grow it in your own home or your local community garden. Here we are today in the community garden, and we're so blessed with a food bank. It's a natural food store in that sense, and having the opportunity and the privilege to talk and walk with elders and Indigenous members of our community, it doesn't take long to realize that through listening closely, listening deeply, and listening intently, that everything we need is in nature. And a beautiful saying is, the whole cannot be what it is without every one of its parts. And each one of those little parts can't be what it is without the whole. And I heard a great talk, and it was when there's a room inside of the house and it's on fire, you don't say, oh, there's a room inside my house that's on fire. No, you say, my house is on fire, and there's parts of Australia that are on fire, and we don't say, oh, those people down there are having bushfires. It's, we're having bushfires. And I think that's the most powerful thing for people to realize, is that we're not separate from nature. Nature isn't something to go and, I want to be in nature this weekend. We are nature. And here it is, all around us every day. And finding that sense of awareness within, all it takes is closing the eyes, taking a deep breath, and feeling in to what matters the most. And like you said, Shay, it's taking the personal responsibility and making the change within first is a way that we can make a change outside of ourselves. And it's not just about us, but without taking care of ourselves first, how can we take care of others? So by having a good diet, by eating good food and having good company with people, then we can make more change. We can make more impact in our community by coming together as a tribe, and by joining together and sharing these ideas, just as you're doing with Earth Heroes, mate. And I really love, seeing the videos and the clips, and I'm looking forward to, more and more times of working together to really share this message further, that we're not separate. The borders of countries are there, they've existed for so long, but we're a global nation now. It only takes, 14 hours to be on the complete other side of the globe, to be in the living room of another family or friends or relatives. And it's only that small separation, it's only the separation in our mind that creates the distance. And it's the same with nature. It's only the separation that sets me apart in my mind. And so a lot of what I do on a daily basis, planting trees, growing gardens, building chicken coops, or using grey water to grow food for free, is the practical hands-on solution that offers people that face-to-face or hand-to-hand or leaf-to-hand, or fruit-to-mouth connection with themselves, with nature. And the more that we experience that, and the more that we share that and value that, the more that we can ultimately make a change within us and without of us.
It's powerful, man. It seems evident to me that the climate is changing Doesn't matter what the debate is, you know, it's one of the only constants in the world is change, and the weather patterns are getting more extreme. So what is one thing that we can all gently hold on to as a glimmer of hope? Or do we have tremendous hope? What can we hold on to as we look forward into the future with people choosing to play a role within the global collective change of humanity?
I think it comes down to values. What do we truly value?
Mm-hmm.
What do I value as an individual? Do I value, fast, convenient food over taking the time to prepare it, to cook it, and to enjoy it? You're right. Do I value, being able to get across town quickly enough in a car, or can I take a bus or ride? And everyone's got a part to play, and I truly believe that everybody's doing their part in one way or another, whether they know it or not, because everything we do has an impact. Mm-hmm. And everything we do will make a difference. So when an individual values certain things, the more that person exercises their right to choose, the more then that value is expressed. And so come together, connect. And one of my highest values is connection for that reason, because by connecting with others, by connecting with plants and food and with nature, it allows me a deeper sense of awareness and belonging to all that is. Mm-hmm. Because one thing that stretches all across our globe, no matter what coloured skin of people habitat the earth, is plants and nature. Mm-hmm. And so we can belong anywhere we choose if we value connection. Mm-hmm. And connecting with nature is, if my leg is on fire but it's not affecting my mouth, do I just keep talking, or do I stop and value the connection that I have to my leg and go, hey, I need to do something about that, right? Mm-hmm. And we're seeing it on social media, every second ad. It says things, don't just swipe past it. Stop for that moment and think, what am I going to do? What am I going to do today? What am I going to do tomorrow that could make a difference? Whether the climate crisis, climate change is man-made or natural, what's the worst that could happen? We end up with less plastic pollution, less carbon dioxide in the air, cleaner air to breathe and cleaner water with more fresh organic food. What's the worst that we could offer our children by making a change?
Absolutely. I would say that's a great solution and great outcome for everyone, regardless of what you do with your time or how you spend your money or how much you actually care about the earth.
Indeed.
I mean, it's going to benefit everyone. I always have this thought, what are the higher elite powers that have all the money that I used to blame when I was younger? What are they going to do when there's no fresh air to breathe or no clean water to drink with all their money? And so I found it's really powerful and important for people to, when these things are coming up in their feed, because I get sometimes emotionally triggered with the response and the fear of all of these horrific things going on, but choosing to respond, as you said, with a gentle, loving, compassionate mindset towards these people who are losing their homes and losing their livelihoods and potentially still having to pay their mortgage and still having to, feed their children and all of these things. And it's like, wow, if I put myself in their shoes and see it from a different perspective, then how would I want to be treated by the rest of the nation and the rest of the world? Well, with that sense of connection and community and that safety and security and the stabilization of knowing that I'm cared for. And so I guess the biggest thing that each of us can do is to care for them in this moment. So I'm actually been really encouraged by all the amazing people out there who have donated their money, who have donated their time, their skills, whether they're working in the fire brigade and protecting them on the ground, or they're bringing it up in their local community and doing raffles and raising money. And it's great to see so many people banding together, making true difference. It's awesome what Organic Motion, what you're doing, Jay Jackson, what Earth Care Collective, and everyone in the greater scope of humanity is really starting to wake up. I truly believe that we're taking a turn, the things are changing and the world is waking up and
Indeed.
Things are changing. It's difficult at this time when it seems that the climate is getting seemingly worse, But I do believe that that's playing a huge role to wake everyone up, to make
Indeed.
us all realize, you know, how beautiful it is to value connection, how important the plants are, how important it is to have each other.
Indeed, right.
So thanks so much, Jay, man. I love you so much. It's great to have these chats and these yarns. And if you guys got value out of this and you value what you see, please check out what Mr. Jay Jackson's doing at Organic Motion and with Earth Care Collective. And stay in tune for more exciting projects. It's true that you'll be planting 500 trees in the next month.
Indeed, yeah, we've got a lot coming up this year, lots and lots. You know, last weekend we were on a community, we planted out fruit trees in syntropic agricultural fashion, and irrigation's been put in and they're looking healthy and growing strong. And from that, got offered another 100 trees. I've had another 2 people contact me and say, I've got fruit trees, but let's get them in. So if you've got a community and you're ready to act and you're wanting to be involved, contact us. We'd really love to see you and see more trees go in the ground. Because what's really interesting is that there's this powerful device that naturally reduces pollution and stores carbon in the soil. It's called a tree.
What? Who invented this device?
Yeah. And
where did that come from? Who knew?
Yeah.
So you're telling me there's a solution that's readily available right now?
That's exactly right.
Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah.
To radically change this whole environmental disaster that we're going through?
Indeed. Yeah. So if you could reduce soil degradation, reduce sediment runoff into the Great Barrier Reef, grow food, store carbon from the atmosphere and put it back into the soil where it can feed plants.
Wait a minute. Does this mean that we would live healthier and we would have more thriving connections with each other?
Yeah.
And we would like just...
We might be able to just reach over and just pick the fruit.
Wow.
Like that.
That's good. So good.
Yeah. So guys, if you want a great tribe, you know, these days it's cool to be sustainable. So why not join the Thrive Tribe?
Oh yeah.
Now, I'm like talking about using the latest technology, you know, using drones to map landscapes so we can plant out and plan the best way to restore native vegetations and native ecosystems. I'm not saying that we're going backwards. I don't think that we're ever going to devolve. I say let's evolve, but let's evolve healthily and happily
with
and
intention.
Harmoniously.
Oh, happy, healthy, harmoniously. Love it, bro. So
Yeah.
good. Thanks so much again, man. And peace.
Yeah.
Yeah.